Welcome to the deep dive. You've given us the source material, and we have distilled the insights. Today, we're taking a deep look at a phenomenon that is, it's so much more than just footwear. We're talking about the Air Jordan empire.
Yeah, we've analyzed a massive stack of material articles, research papers, historical accounts, all of it, covering the history, the cultural footprint, the design evolution, business controversies, and critically, the sheer athletic foundation of Michael Jordan himself.
So our mission is to unpack this global brand. How did one signature shoe line, built on the back of a singular athlete's dominance and a really risky strategy of defiance,
Right.
how did that reshape consumer culture and generate billions? We're starting right at the beginning when Nike was the underdog.
It's a truly fascinating moment in business history. Back in 1984, Jordan was a hot prospect, but the sneaker market was completely dominated by Adidas and Converse.
Oh, absolutely.
Converse had contracts with Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. They were the establishment.
That context is everything. Nike was truly swinging for the fences here. The source material shows just how crucial their presentation was.
It was.
They had to convince him to take a risk on a company that hadn't really defined basketball footwear yet.
And they went all in. Their whole presentation was centered around this highlight reel of Jordan's early dunks, which, it's funny now, but it was scored to Jump for My Love by the Pointer Sisters.
It sounds a bit cheesy today, but you know what? It worked.
It did. But the real turning point, the critical moment, came when Jordan actually critiqued the initial design and the colorway.
And this is where Nike set themselves apart. They didn't just want him to wear their shoes. They committed to making him a standalone star.
Exactly. Giving him his own signature line, not just another endorsement deal.
That decision cemented the 5-year, $2.5 million deal signed in October 1984.
Which was an astronomical figure at the time. 3 times higher than any other deal in the NBA. They were putting their entire future on a rookie.
And the return on that investment was immediate. But it was fueled less by his rookie stats and more by pure defiance.
Yes.
The Air Jordan I was introduced in November '84, but the key to its instant fame was the NBA rulebook.
Exactly. The league policy required shoes to be 51% white.
Yeah.
The iconic red and black AJI was only, 23% white?
Right. So the NBA immediately penalized Jordan $5,000 a game for wearing them.
And Nike didn't just accept the fines.
They weaponized them.
Yes. They agreed to pay every single penalty, which, if you adjust for today, is about $15,000 a night. They turned the punishment into a marketing strategy.
They were essentially buying a $5,000 commercial every single time he stepped on the court.
It was genius. They leaned right into the controversy with that banned advertisement. You know the one.
Of course. On September 15th, Nike created a revolutionary new basketball shoe. On October 18th, the NBA threw them out of the game.
Fortunately, the NBA can't keep you from wearing them. They weren't just selling a shoe. They were selling anti-establishment cool.
And the market responded, violently. Nike had hoped for $3 million in sales over the first 3 years.
Yeah, that was a projection.
They earned $126 million in the first year alone. The shoe ultimately generated over $150 million. It just set a whole new standard.
And while we're on the origin, we have to talk about the Jumpman logo, because the history there is full of delicious irony.
It's one of the most recognizable logos in the world, and the origin story is not what you think it is.
Not at all. We associate it completely with Nike, but it actually comes from a 1984 Life magazine photo shoot.
Right. He was performing a specific ballet move, a grand jeté, this long horizontal leap, and he was wearing his Olympic uniform.
And here's the kicker. The shoes he was wearing in that original Life photo shoot,
New Balance.
New Balance, Nike later paid to have the pose replicated in his Bulls uniform to create that enduring logo we know today.
So the defining symbol of his brand originated from a ballet leap and a rival company's shoe. That's remarkable.
It is. That transition from high art to high-performance consumerism is it's the whole story right there.
And that transition from a single, rebellious shoe to an entire design dynasty is really a testament to the design itself.
Yeah.
The shoes evolved so quickly past just sports utility.
They became these vehicles for innovation and storytelling. Take the Air Jordan II in 1986. Instead of just making another bulky basketball shoe, they released one that was made in Italy.
In Italy, with faux lizard skin. That was a clear signal they were aiming for the luxury market.
And it was the first Jordan to remove the Nike swoosh from the outside of the shoe.
That's a huge psychological shift, isn't it? They're not selling a Nike shoe worn by Jordan. They're selling a Jordan shoe.
Precisely. And then the legend, Tinker Hatfield, takes over and starts pulling in these wild influences. The AJV in 1990 is a perfect example.
The WWII Mustang fighter jet.
Exactly. That's where you get the reflective tongue, the translucent soles, the lace locks.
And that's where the insight lies, right? The design explicitly tied the wearer not just to a basketball court, but to this idea of high-speed performance, of high-risk aspiration.
And you saw that cultural integration immediately. The AJV was all over the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, worn by Will Smith.
And the vehicle inspiration just kept going. The AJVI in '91.
Designed after a German sports car. And fittingly, that's the shoe Jordan wore when he won his very first NBA championship.
But the AJXI from 1995 might just be the pinnacle. It's the favorite of both Jordan and Hatfield.
Oh, yeah. The patent leather?
The patent leather mudguard and that ballistic mesh upper. The materials were meant to be durable, but the patent leather gave it this formal look.
And the sources confirm that. Jordan frequently wore that model with business suits, deliberately blurring the line between sports gear and formal wear.
It was another huge step towards shoes defining an entire lifestyle, not just, an activity.
It's hard to believe they kept finding new places to go. The AJX in '96 had the rising sun motif from the Japanese flag.
And the AJX Mufus in '98 was inspired by his own Ferrari 550M. So personal.
And that one, the AJVS 4, has a great piece of trivia. It's nicknamed The Last Shot because he wore them for that game winner in the '98 finals.
Right.
But if you look closely, the shoe has 14 Jumpman logos, 7 on each shoe. This is a subtle nod to the model number.
Beyond just the product, though, these designs fueled an entire cultural economy. They're central to the rise of sneakerhead culture.
Oh, absolutely. The collecting, the trading, the high-stakes resale.
And the economy around this is just staggering. The resale market alone is currently valued at, an estimated $2 billion?
$2 billion. And projections suggest it'll grow to $6 billion by 2025. I mean, the secondary market for these shoes is bigger than many major corporations.
This cultural footprint extends everywhere. The brand became inseparable from the rise of hip-hop starting in '85. Rappers like Jay-Z, Biggie, Eazy-E.
They're all weaving references to the shoes and to Jordan's success right into their lyrics.
And that cachet, it just persists. You see these contemporary high-end collaborations, Travis Scott's Cactus Jack, the partnership with Dior.
And even with global sports teams, like Paris Saint-Germain FC Film was also huge, well beyond Space Jam. Spike Lee featuring the AJIV in Do the Right Thing.
A moment so iconic, the brand even released a replica of the scuffed-up pair from the film.
Exactly.
But if we're talking about cultural impact, we have to acknowledge the darker side of this. The shoes became such a status symbol, which tragically led to some really high-profile controversies.
That's right. Air Jordans, because of their immense value and what they represented, have been associated with violence, robberies, even riots.
The source material specifically points to the tragic 1989 death of a 15-year-old, Michael Eugene Thomas, who was murdered over a pair of the sneakers.
It's hard to reconcile the genius of the marketing and the design with that real-world violence.
So how did the brand manage to hold on to its incredible value and appeal despite these tragic associations?
Well, they largely retain their value because the foundation, Michael Jordan's image, was so universally untouchable. But those weren't the only controversies.
Right, the manufacturing issues.
Yeah. Nike, which contracts out its manufacturing, faced significant ethical problems in the 90s. In 1997, you had 10,000 Indonesian workers go on strike over wage violations.
And the following year, 3,000 workers in China protested hazardous working conditions. These are serious labor issues tied directly to the production chain.
But if you connect this back to the bigger picture, the reason the brand could weather all those storms, the scandals, the controversies, the ethical questions, is the one thing that never wavered.
Michael Jordan himself.
The unassailable statistical dominance of Michael Jordan himself. The excellence was the stable foundation that just, it justified all the hype.
Exactly. We've covered the marketing, the defiance, the controversies, but none of it works without the man. Let's dig into the sheer dominance that justified that initial $2.5 million bet.
Well, the consensus, cited across the NBA, Slam Magazine, ESPN, it's clear. His career is the benchmark. He's got 6 NBA championships.
And, crucially, he won the Finals MVP trophy in every single Finals appearance he ever made.
Every single one.
Yeah.
That speaks to an unrivaled level of clutch performance.
It's the consistency of his elite performance that anchors the brand. He also had 5 regular season MVPs.
A legacy so great, the NBA literally renamed the regular season MVP trophy, the Michael Jordan Trophy, in his honor in 2022.
Wow.
What truly makes him unique, though, and what the sources really emphasize, is two-way dominance. He led the league in scoring for 10 seasons.
10, including 7 consecutive scoring titles, which is tied with Wilt Chamberlain, and he still holds the highest career scoring average in NBA history for both the regular season and the playoffs.
He was the ultimate offensive machine. But here's the unique part. That kind of offensive output usually comes at the expense of defensive effort.
Not for him.
Jordan is the only player in NBA history to lead the league in scoring and win Defensive Player of the Year in the same season. He did that in 87-88.
Think about that achievement. That season, 87-88, is the ultimate statistical peak. The only player ever to lead the league in scoring, win MVP, and win DPOY in the same year.
The brand is built on the fact that he was fundamentally unguardable and a shutdown defender. It's unreal.
And his consistency in the playoffs is it's unrivaled. He has an NBA record of 5 playoff series where he averaged at least 40 points per game.
No other player has more than one of those.
One. And maybe the most telling stat of all, he's the only player in history to score 15 or more points in all 179 playoff games of his career.
That level of consistency and brilliance, that's the unshakable foundation for the Empire. It transcends mere celebrity endorsement. It creates a legend.
So what does this all translate to for the man himself? That athletic dominance transformed into unprecedented entrepreneurial success. Jordan's net worth is estimated at $3 billion as of November 2023.
He's the highest paid athlete of all time, largely because of the $1.8 billion he's earned from ongoing partnerships, most notably, of course, with Nike.
He became the NBA's first player billionaire in 2014, and that was primarily due to his majority ownership stake in the Charlotte Hornets.
A venture that recently concluded when he sold his majority stake in June 2023 for an estimated $3 billion.
And that sale had significant implications. While he retained a minority stake and profited massively, the sale resulted in 0 black majority owners currently in the NBA.
Yeah, that's a significant point. It highlights a real issue with diversity in league ownership.
But his business evolution shows he successfully moved the Jordan brand far beyond the court a long time ago.
Oh, for sure. The brand now endorses elite athletes across major sports. NFL stars like Jalen Hurts, MLB standouts like Aaron Judge. They even outfit entire NCAA football programs like Michigan and Howard.
And his diversified investment portfolio post-basketball is equally impressive. He's a co-owner of 23XI Racing and NASCAR. He's an advisor and investor in DraftKings.
And he co-founded Cincoro Tequila, a luxury brand, where some bottles go for up to $4,500.
That kind of comprehensive brand extension ensures longevity. It's not just a basketball show anymore. It's a luxury lifestyle associated with winning, period.
And he leverages that success philanthropically, working with the UNCF, providing grants for economic and social justice, and establishing 4 Michael Jordan family medical clinics in North Carolina.
So if you look back at the entire trajectory, it's just the perfect storm. It starts with this massive gamble by Nike and a strategy of marketing defiance that created explosive sales.
Right.
That was sustained by a design ethos that constantly innovated, drawing inspiration from fighter jets and German sports cars.
And all of that is bolted down to the overwhelming, unassailable statistical legacy of the greatest player of all time.
Michael Jordan's true genius was merging his athletic identity with a global lifestyle brand. The shoes became synonymous with both unparalleled excellence and this rebellious anti-establishment attitude,
which allowed the brand to survive decades of controversy and change.
It makes you consider this, especially in the context of the sources we analyzed. Jordan's business empire. It was established before the age of ubiquitous social media, before every major athlete had a direct-to-consumer digital brand. So does the fact that his foundation was built organically, based purely on televised dominance and physical product, make his empire inherently more resilient and untouchable than any modern athlete could ever hope to achieve. That's the question you take away from this deep dive.